Hello and welcome once again to TopDogz TV's Short Sports Shorts as we continue our look at former Liverpool managers with Part 3, David Ashworth. Despite having been a prominent man at the time, Ashworth seems to have slid into obscurity since the 1920s. Nowadays there are even doubts over his birthplace. While most older online sources suggested he was from Waterford in Ireland, it is now thought that is incorrect. One Manchester City blogger scoured the 1881 census to find him. There his birthplace is given as Poulton-le-Fylde, near Blackpool in Lancashire. There is little in the way of information about his early years, though it is known that he played for Newchurch Rovers and became a referee for the Football League prior to management. He began in football management with Oldham Athletic, becoming their first manager, before moving on to take charge of Stockport County, who he stayed with throughout the First World War. At this time, Liverpool were in the hands of a caretaker manager, George Patterson. Competitive football resumed in 1919 after the end of World War I, but the team was struggling badly under Patterson, and in the first 11 games of the season they had just 2 wins to show for their efforts. The board decided time was ripe to make a change, and they approached Ashworth, who agreed to take over in December 1919. Under him the team recovered to finish 4th in the league that season. The following season, 1920-1921, was a similar story, with Liverpool once again finishing 4th in the league. However, the foundations had been laid for the following season. Ashworth's style of play was all around teamwork and a solid defensive platform based on 3 full internationals at the back, 2 defenders, 3 midfielders, 5 forwards. The goalkeeper, Elisha Scott, was claimed by many to be the best keeper in the world, and in the 1921-22 season he helped the team to concede just 36 goals in 42 matches. Liverpool was so strong that season that their first league loss at Anfield only came after 3 of their team were called up by a Football League 11. While Tommy Lucas, Harry Chambers and Tom Bromelo were off playing for the Football League and beating the Scottish League 11, Bolton Wanderers managed to win 2-0 at Anfield. However, they were aided in the victory by the loss of Scotland international Donald McKinley to injury. In those pre-substitute days, that meant that Liverpool were down to 10 men for part of the game. Despite losing their main centre-forward Richard Johnson for the season through injury, Liverpool managed to win the league, their 3rd league title, by 6 points from Tottenham Hotspur. The team had been built carefully with little in the way of big money signings, other than £2,500 spent on Fred Hopkins, who famously failed to score from outside left all season. Luckily, Hopkins' lack of goals was made up for by Harry Chambers and Dick Forshaw, who both scored over 20 goals that season. The team was mostly made up of locals, unusually for Liverpool, with 10 from the Liverpool area alone. It is all a far cry from the early days when the team were max. With Ashworth's first title in the bag, it all looked good heading into the 1922-23 season. Liverpool soon went back to the top of the league, but there were signs that things were not all well at the club. Over the course of November and December, Ashworth became the first, and so far only, Liverpool manager to lose 4 matches in a row at Anfield. Defeats to Aston Villa, Sheffield United, Cardiff City and Newcastle United over the course of November and December set the unwanted record. Rumours had begun swirling around that Ashworth was set to return to his former club, Oldham Athletic, who was struggling at the bottom of the table. The rumours became so insistent that Ashworth did an interview with the Liverpool Echo to deny there was any substance to them. A day after that interview was printed, he handed in his resignation. The fans were mystified, as Ashworth was not only top of the league with Liverpool and Oldham bottom, but they had already beaten Oldham home and away that season. In fact, his team was so dominant that they went on to clinch the league by Easter after he left, despite winning only one of their last 7 matches. However, things were not quite as simple as that, with Ashworth having an invalid wife and daughter to worry about. As such, a return to Oldham meant he was much closer to home, and in those days of slow travel times, it made a big difference to his life. Sadly, he was never again to be successful, and drifted off into obscurity while Liverpool turned to a member of their old team of Matt McQueen, to lead them into a new era.